And Jonathan, you nailed it. Whenever we're creating a list, we're creating an email list. And the reason being is because TikTok, social media could burn down and shut down tomorrow, and we would have nothing to show for it if we didn't have an email list, if we didn't have, like Selena says, an audience that we own. So today we're going to try to keep it at 60 minutes. And we're going to go through these few takeaways here. So first, what we're going to dive into is why you don't want to get stuck in the analysis paralysis and be in the same place for months and months. We don't want to have that feeling of just posting content and hoping it works anymore. We want to get you out of that place so you can stop guessing what to post or what to say with the goal of getting more business and with the goal of building your email list. So yesterday, what we did, if you weren't here, we'll just do a quick recap. Yesterday, we unpacked your brain. We unpacked your genius. Even if it felt a little bit messy whenever you went home and you got on your computer, you did your interview, maybe you weren't 100% sure if you did it right. That's okay. Yesterday, we just wanted to get everything laid out on the table. So we mapped out your voice, your value, your offer, and that's the goal your AI clone is going to run on moving forward. And this is a visual representation of what your brain looks like. So your brain is in the center, and you have all these different tools that we're going to connect. And we have your brand, your struggles, your audience struggles, your ideal clients, even your competitors. And we're going to put all of this information in one place. And this is going to be your AI brain, your AI assistant that's going to run all of your marketing for you. So the goal of this, by having this AI assistant, is to take that pressure away, the pressure to always create. Oh my God, today's content, I need to pull up my
Yeah, you
phone,
can.
actually record. We want to take that pressure off of you today. And what we're going to do is we're going to be activating this through that leverage we're creating. And I'm not just going to give you a list of tasks, to-do list. You need to do 1, 2, 3. No, what we want to do is we want to unlock the lead tab. How do you guys like my AI version of me? Even has my hair color. Okay. We're going to unlock the lead tab that's going to help you create content that actually converts. So I will say this is not for you if your only goal is going viral and getting a lot of attention. This is going to be specifically for you if you want to have a clone that's running your marketing, a clone that's helping you get leads that are ready to buy, that are basically pre-sold on you and your business and what you can do for them. And last of all, getting those leads into the door. So who remembers this slide from yesterday? We have the one brain, the one lane, one engine. Let me remind you what this means. So the brain is everything that you know, your voice, your stories, your offers. It's basically the raw material that we're feeding into your clone. Second one is going to be the lane. The lane is the goal that we're taking people to, right? Leave a comment in the chat of if you had some time to reflect on this last night, leave a comment on what your lane is. Where are you moving people towards? Is it a booked call? Is it a purchase? Is it to get them to buy into a program, to buy into your community? What does that look like for you? So the lane is the direction that our engine is going to drive the traffic, that's going to drive the attention. And so with the engine, this is the system that we're going to build today. So this is where we do the setup, the research, the build, the launch. It's what connects your brain to the lane so we can get everybody into that one place. Once all three of these are aligned, you've got a clone that doesn't just create content anymore. It's going to build momentum towards your goals. And so this is the 4-step process we're starting off with. This is the engine that powers your brain. So we've outlined the brain, the input that clones you, but a brain alone isn't enough. So let's build this out. Who's ready to dive into this? Pull up your ChatGPT, pull up your phones if you're on it, and let's dig in, because we're going to show you how we build this whole system and we have it installed in weeks rather than months. It's going to happen in real time today. Who's ready for that? Thumbs up emoji. Yes, yes. Oh my God, we're getting physical thumbs up. That's how I know we're excited. So this is the unfair advantage of having an AI clone doing the heavy lifting for you, because you can move with speed. And that's what I really want to encourage you. That's one of the principles that we have here at Leads and Revenue is move fast, fail fast, test, test, test. Whenever we think about marketing, It's all testing, getting to our goal as fast as possible. So let's start building your clone live right now. So if you have your 3 documents that we created, your offer, your story, and your voice document, we're going to take those and we're going to transform them and actually put them into your AI assistant. If you weren't here yesterday, we'll do a very quick recap. So the first one we have here is your offer document. This is a detailed document on what you sell, who it's for, and why it's basically better than everybody else out there, why you're different. The second one is your story document. So this is your experiences, your proof, your personality. An example of this is why you dropped out of college and got into business, or why you left your 9 to 5 and got into what you're doing today. Or maybe you didn't jump straight into what you're doing today. Maybe there are some steps in between. We mapped this out yesterday with your story document. In the voice document, this is where we analyzed your story and we got your tone, we got your beliefs, we got your language and the phrases that you say on a day-to-day basis. And with these 3 documents, the way that they work is this is going to be calibrating how your AI is communicating for you, and it's going to be very clear. So first off, let's get organized. We're going to combine these and put them into a knowledge base. This is going to be the brain of your clone. So the first step of this is organizing your knowledge base. And I'm going to go ahead and share my screen very quickly. You can go ahead and scan this QR code as well. So whenever you scan this QR code, you're going to get a template of how to organize your knowledge base. What does this mean? With the, let's see here. Let me go ahead and put the link in the chat for everybody that is on their computer. Perfect. So with your knowledge base, with all the results that you get from your from the prompts that we gave you yesterday, you're going to copy and paste them into this knowledge base on Google. And this is what it's going to look like for you. This is the knowledge base. First, you'll just copy and paste your offer document into here. If you're live, we're going to cut this out as well. You're going to get this offer document. This offer document, or this offer bot, this is the offer bot that we use behind the scenes. So if you haven't done your offer document yet, or you want to refine your offer, you can go ahead and click on that link. So you're going to copy and paste all the responses that you get from your ChatGPT into here. And the prompts are in here as well if you need those as a quick reference. So let's say, Selena, you did your voice profile. You'll just press Command A and paste all of your results into here. Okay, so this is where we're going to keep everything organized. As we scale and as we build this foundation for your clone, it is so important to have everything in one place rather than having 100 different documents or a dozen different Google Doc profiles or Google documents where everything is scattered. Your brain may be scattered, but if your AI brain is scattered, it's not going to work for you. So we're trying to prevent that by building this and staying organized. If everybody got that link, we'll go ahead and I put it in the chat as well. So whenever we organize our knowledge base, this is where we're going to take some of these documents and we're going to start training our brain. Who's ready for this demo? We're going to build our brain live. So first part about this is you need to have the $20 a month version of ChatGPT to begin. If you don't have that, just don't get Starbucks for 2 days and you'll go ahead and get this. So the link you're going to go to is going to be chatgpt.com/GPTs. Okay, so let's go ahead and go to this link here. Let's see this one. So chatgpt.com/GPTs. Perfect. All right, we're going to go. So if you are on ChatGPT and you want to figure out exactly where to go to access this, you're going to click on GPTs here on the side, and you're going to see a button that says, make this bigger. We're going to see a button that says create. Boom. You can come into here and you can say your name, bot, or AI assistant. Perfect. And with the 3 files that we got yesterday, what we're going to do is we're going to upload these files into your knowledge base here. So let's go ahead and do that. I'll upload my files as an example. So this is my offer document and my story document. I just named mine a little bit different. At the bottom here, we're going to turn on code interpreter and data analysis. Okay, we're going step by step here. So if you have your documents, just walk through this with me now so you can start going through some of the other action items we'll have later as well. Now you might see here that it says instruction. So this is where we tell the GPT what to do, how to behave, and how to use the documents that we have uploaded already. So what you're going to do is you're going to go to this Google document that we sent. See a couple of you here now. And I made this a lot easier for you. So you're just going to copy and paste this document or copy and paste this ChatGPT instructions here, and you're going to paste it into the GPT in which you had the conversations about your offer document. What it's going to do is it's going to build out the 8,000 character custom GPT prompt. And so all you're going to have to do is copy and paste this into here. Done. Okay, who's following along with me? Who has their ChatGPT up? Good. Okay, perfect, perfect. Awesome. So you can upload a picture of yourself if you like, but you can also test it. So let's go ahead and test this here. Who is Natalie? You'll see it's going to search your knowledge base, and you'll see it's going to give you a response of exactly who you are, what you do, your tone, your voice, and now you can ask it anything about your story or about who you are, and it's going to put it into here. And you can even ask, who is my audience? Question mark. So right here, we're testing to make sure. So we are building the foundation of your AI assistant. This is going to be the bare bones of what you need in order for this to work for you. So we tested it again. Who is my audience? Okay, this sounds about right. Audience segments. Perfect. All right, the next thing you're going to do is you're just going to press the create button. You can just put anyone with the link, save, and boom, congratulations. You just built your first AI clone live, and that took us probably less than 10 minutes. Combined with creating our documents, maybe let's say under an hour to create your first clone. Isn't that amazing? Who did it live with me? We're able to build our first AI clone. Selena, perfect. If you have any questions about this process that we just went through, go ahead and leave it in the chat. We'll answer all the questions at the end just so we can be respectful of our time that we have here today. But we just finished our first step, which is going to be the setup. You can test it by asking it anything to generate ideas, to draft content, to answer audience questions, and it'll draft emails, post in seconds. So you could also use it to answer ideal client questions. Hey, what are the biggest objections that my audience might have? And you can start learning more about who is in your audience. David said you lost me. Oh no, David, go ahead and leave a comment in the chat of where you got lost. If you're walking through this with us live, just make sure you had those original documents that we talked about yesterday. Otherwise, we'll go ahead and answer any questions you have afterwards in the Facebook group. So the next part of this is we're going into our research phase. All right, so we've got the brain built. Let's talk about what's actually going to go inside it now. The only way we can get our clone to work the way that we want it to do is to have and feed it proven real world material. And this is where the research actually comes in. So what I don't want you to do is reinvent the wheel, because the fastest way to win at getting clients, to win at marketing, is to hack what's already working. That means doing research, researching and looking at competitors, looking at your audience, hacking. Yes, hacking. So what do I mean by hacking? What we're looking at is we're not quote unquote copying what other people are doing, but we're studying the frameworks that are already proven. And you don't even have to study them. You can have your AI figure out, why is this working for my competitor and how can I get it to work for me? So now we're just reverse engineering the process. So let me give you an example of how we're going to do this with content. We're going to go and look for proven hooks that already exist. So if you're on Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, here's what this might look like. You're going to pull up Instagram and you're going to scroll through and you're going to see a couple of your competitors. I want you to look at their outliers. What is their most viral post that they have? Or maybe one that even caught your attention. Those are the ones that we want to look at so we can study. Which ones are taken off? Which one have the most attention? What we're going to do from there is we're going to use different tools such as GenSpark or even ChatGPT to study why this is working. So with the goal of this in the research phase, and I really do want to emphasize this, is that your goal here by being on this call is not to become a marketing genius or become a marketing guru. Your goal is to grow a business, get more leads, get more clients, get more calls booked. So the way that you do that is you just follow what's already working and study what's working. You might be thinking, shouldn't I be original? Shouldn't I post content that's creative? And you know, you can't scale creativity. It's really hard to be consistent with creativity. So what we're going to do is we're going to figure, we don't want to wait until lightning strikes and you have your creative day. We want to build a system that doesn't matter. It doesn't care whether you're tired, whether you're creative, whether you're not creative. We want to build a system to make sure that you can be consistent. You can get the consistent leads coming in. So at this point, creativity is optional, but what is not optional is the proven frameworks. These are absolutely mandatory. So this is going to avoid you feeling like you're just creating content that's throwing spaghetti at the wall, hoping something that sticks. Instead, we're going to create content that actually is going to work for you. So how do we turn this research into content that is actually converting? This is really fun. This is where the magic happens. So whenever we take the research that we're doing, we're going to look at these frameworks and we're going to figure out how to create the content. What we're not doing is creating the generic auto-generated AI spam post. You might see these a lot where someone just creates AI generated post and puts an AI generated caption in hopes that it's going to, show for something or get them clients. That's not what we're doing here. So I'm going to show you exactly how to do this. But first, we need to understand our 4 content types that we need to cycle through every single week. So the first one is going to be transformation. This is going to be the proof of your own story or stories of clients that you've worked with. Second one is going to be value. So with value, there's 2 different types of ways to define value. Value can be teaching something, teaching frameworks, giving somebody a list of things that they could act upon today. But value can also mean flipping a belief system, addressing their objections live through your content creation. If somebody has any reason to believe that this might not work for them, talk about how it could work for them and what mindset should they need to have in order for it to happen for them. Value could also be quick wins and how you got them. Third part of this is going to be your story. So this is where you have people start relating with you. This is the most powerful piece of content. So this makes sure that you're not a robot, and we want to update your clone constantly to make sure it's updated with amazing stories that are happening in your life. Last one is your offer. So this is where we're going to do light call to actions. What a call to action does, and the purpose of it is to get somebody and point them directly to your lane. So does that mean booked calls? Does it mean signups? Does it mean sales? That's what the offer is going to do. So as you see here, we could do 1 post a week with each of these. We could do 2 posts a week of each of these, but as long as we use these frameworks, we're going to cycle through these every single week. And that basically means every single week, we're going to pitch somebody at least 1 time with our offer post to get into our ecosystem. And I want to show you how we can now turn one single idea and how we can repurpose it into 4 of these different content types. So let's dive into that. The way that we do this and the way that we've started scaling this behind the scenes, we have an agency where clients come to us and they pay us up to $60,000 a year or $5,000 a month so we can run this entire system on their behalf. Now, we've studied thousands of posts at this point, and we've created proven frameworks on how this works. So with those, instead of having to do this research constantly, we did a batch amount of research all at once. We created bots that now write all of our content for us and our clients' behalf, and that's how we make sure we stay consistent. So I went ahead and instead of going through all the templates and everything we've created, my goal for you today is to walk away with a 7-day content calendar. This is going to be cycling through, 2 posts, 2 transformation posts, 2 value posts, 2 story posts, 2 offer posts. So whenever you scan this QR code, you're going to get free access to our 1 to 4 content multiplier. So let's go ahead and do a demo of this. So if you already have your clone built, you can go ahead and use your clone to have a conversation. If you don't have your clone built yet, that's okay. Just do it in a normal conversation with ChatGPT. And by the way, these frameworks work anywhere. Facebook, LinkedIn, TikTok, carousels on Instagram or LinkedIn. It could even be scripts for talking head videos. You can choose a platform and the principle is going to stay the same no matter what. So let me give you a demo of what this actually looks like. So we're going to look at this one. So whenever you scan that QR code, you're going to get access to this link, and I'll go ahead and put it in the chat as well. Boom. Perfect. Everybody have access to this? Thumbs up. So whenever you look at it initially, it looks like a lot of information. The only thing that I want you to do is come into here. We're going to copy and paste this prompt. Perfect. View GPT. So go ahead and open the GPT you just created. This is one I just created. And all you're going to do is you're going to copy and paste the prompt and you're going to press enter. What we did here is we put 4 of our frameworks into this prompt so you can go ahead and create hooks for your content. The first thing it's going to do is to make sure if you have any additional ideas you have. So maybe you want to talk about something that happened this week. I'll say just create. All right, we're going to watch this create our content in real time. Who here is doing this with me live? You're creating your content? Yes, beautiful. Selena's following through. She's like, all right, we're getting this done. Okay, perfect. So you're going to see here just a quick overview. We have our transformation hooks, our value post, our story post, and our offer post. And what you're going to see is it's giving us 3 options for each of these formulas or these frameworks that we've given you here. And so with this, you can pick your favorite one. So you can say, let's look at this one. For the last 6 months, I've been obsessing over client acquisition. At first, it was endless posting with no calls. Then I realized I needed to replace myself, not to work harder. Now I'm booking qualified clients while others are still chasing likes. Honestly, that's pretty good. I like that one. We have a value one. And so what you're going to see here is a formula that we extracted. And it plugs in your offer and your audience into the formula. This is technically 12 pieces of content that you could use here. Use each of these hooks and you can have it go ahead and expand and create your content pieces. You can use it as a talking head hook, a B-roll hook, a hook for LinkedIn if you're posting on LinkedIn. Wherever your audience is, at most of the time, you can post these at any point. So perfect. I will just tell it transformation. Perfect. I like number 3. And you'll see here, it's going to create the full post for you. Nice. That's good formatting. And now what you'll see as well is it's going to offer you a soft call to action and a direct call to action. So what does that mean? Soft call to action means that you're not directly asking for the sale. You're just saying, hey, if you want to learn more about this, come here. Or, hey, let's open the conversation to see where you're at right now. A direct call to action is where we take somebody into our system, into our backend, where we start collecting emails. So this might look like comment system if you want my framework. And if you're on this video, if you're on this challenge, you most likely got here because of one of my calls to actions on Instagram or Facebook or LinkedIn. So you see it works. I'm using this exact system behind the scenes. So this is just the power of one prompt that we've created. You can use this to create your next 14 days of content. Just plug it into your content calendar and it's going to start moving for you. Everybody get this working for them so far? Mr. Contreras, you got this going for you? Hey, good to see you. Awesome. If you have any questions about this or the hooks it's giving you, go ahead and leave a comment in the chat here. And again, if you need the link, I popped it in the chat so you can go ahead and walk through this together. So with every post that we're creating, it's going to point to your lane, to your end goal. It has that one purpose. That's how you stop just wasting time online and start actually building a business that's going to generate you leads and start posting content that's actually intentional. So the next step and the final step of this, what we've gone through so far is building out your AI clone through the setup. We've gone through the research phase, and now we've gone through the build phase. Uh, Now we're going to go into the launch phase. So this is the part that everybody loves, putting your clone on autopilot. You set it up once, it keeps working for you. You come back to it every 2 weeks or every 30 days, and that's all you need. It's going to take you less time now to manage your marketing, less time now to post content. And this allows us to have the consistency without constantly burning out. So you can still show up daily, but no matter what, whether you're sick, tired, maybe your kid got sick or something, you don't have to be chained to your phone thinking, oh my God, I need to post today. How am I going to do that? I need to whip something up real quick. And so now how does this turn into a system to where you can actually start converting the clients? Where are we taking them to after we start posting content consistently and we start getting these leads through the door? So this is the bigger picture. Your content isn't just going to be posting more, it's going to be the fuel that drives your audience into your engine with the goal of getting them to book a call with you, to purchase a product with you, to get into a community with you. The visibility that we're getting here from any of these platforms, could be any of these platforms, is going to be traction to start generating new revenue, or maybe allowing you to launch new offers here. And now your brain can actually start working for you. Now, without getting too complex here, let's go ahead and tie these ideas back together. So we built our brain, our lane, and our engine. Our brain is our AI clone. Our lane is a measurable goal. And our engine is the phases that we just went through of research, building, launching, working together. With the research, we went ahead and just gave you some of the frameworks that work for you. So that way you have 7 posts that aren't just sitting on social media. These are going to turn into leads, calls, signups, and that's going to be the start of the system that we're building together. So let's go through this here. So let me show you how this works. It sounds very simple whenever we're looking at this at a very high level view, but simple scales, simple works, just like we talked about yesterday. The reason that this works is because it's simple. It doesn't have all these, fancy mechanisms or any, fancy anything. The reason it works is because it's trained on you. It's structured for conversions because it's built to scale without having you constantly burning out or feeling you have to come up with new ideas or you have to record more content. So these are some of the results that we've gotten for our clients. I mean, it's consistently getting our results for us from 1 million views on a reel to even on Facebook. We're up to, 400,000 reach on Facebook, which isn't a very popular platform. Another one we have here is we had a client do 20K in 60 days with a brand new offer. This is the simple system that we just showed you here, where we take the visibility from, let's say, Instagram, and we get them through the door into this process, all through organic, no paid ads, nothing of that sort. And so what we just finished building is we identified your brain, we identified your lane, we identified your engine. And this all funnels into your content conversion machine. Now, we could go into talking about CRMs or funnels or lead magnets and landing pages, but none of that really matters if we don't have a way to get clients, a way to get visibility, a way to get people who actually know who you are and to build that trust. So everything we just talked about here is the foundation of getting started. And if we don't have that, I don't want you getting distracted by things that aren't going to move you forward. So it doesn't matter if you have your product fully built yet or not. The goal here is start getting visibility as fast and as quickly and as consistently as possible and build your system once you have that consistently locked into the door. Now, with most people we've talked to, they've tried this already. They've posted the content, they tried the funnels, the templates, they probably tried a bunch of different AI tools, but it's still not working. And they feel like they kind of built this own rat race for themselves and they're not sure how to get out. And you're not failing because you're not smart, you don't know how to use AI, or you're not consistent. The only reason it may not be working for you is because you don't have a system in place or you haven't mapped it out yet. Who here has, let's say, theoretically built out a funnel or built out a way to get the clients coming through the door? Leave a thumbs up in the chat, raise your hand. I want to see where we're at in the room here. Dennis says yes, he's got a funnel built, he's got a way to get clients into the door. Good. And sometimes, if you don't have that yet, that's okay. Sometimes it just takes one small change. With a clone trained on your brain, with the proven frameworks that we talked about, even just starting out with the prompts that we've given you, the content can start feeling random. You can see what frameworks and formulas can do whenever you actually use them to be consistent, to be intentional and aligned with your goal. And then it's the concept of the suddenly, right? Suddenly everything starts changing. Suddenly everything feels different. Suddenly everything feels easier. It's like in fitness, you tweak your protein to intake, and suddenly the weight starts coming off, the fat starts coming off, or you start lifting a little bit heavier. Or in business, you're trying to increase your profit margins. You increase your prices a little bit, suddenly your business is profitable. So the small changes are going to be what gets you to your goal. It's going to be what gets you to being successful, to getting the clients into the door. And that's the power of having a system. That's the power of building leverage. And that's what the system is going to give you. One small shift, having a clone that works for you, that actually understands what you do, understands your audience. That's going to be what actually changes everything. And it sounds simple whenever we're getting started, and it can be. And whenever you do it and you just take action, let's say you boat out your clone with us on our call, this is what it might feel like. You're watching your audience explode. You're having dream prospects hanging on your every post. You have people emailing you, DMing you, asking, hey, how can I work with you? What's the next step? And that feeling of calm, of having people come to the door, having a full pipeline of prospects coming to you daily, you start feeling that weight off your shoulders, that wow, I'm building a real business now. I don't have to have that anxiety that every entrepreneur has, at least within the first 3 years. I don't need to have that anymore. I can follow a simple system and create a very smooth engine to get this to work for me. And whenever you build this real asset that produces the leads and the revenue on demand, you only have to build it once and everything starts moving smoothly. Whether it is a newsletter, whether it's going to be a lead magnet, maybe it's a short video that you give away to people in exchange for their email. Having one simple asset to give to your audience that builds demand can change your entire business. And the only way you're going to get people to that is by building consistent content. But consistency isn't enough to just grow your business. Consistency without having to work hard, without having to put more effort into anything is the goal here. Because if we all were getting rewards for being consistent, for putting in a lot of hard work, we'd probably all have gold medals here. Who wants to work hard? No? Okay, yeah. I don't want to work hard. We want to work smarter here. So there is no marketing system more simple than having a leads and revenue model in your business. So I'm going to show you exactly how this is going to work for you. Up until this point, I want to get a show of hands of who's built their clone so far. Thumbs up. Selena, I know you've built your clone. David, you got your clone built? Perfect. Ed, you have your clone built. Dennis has his clone built. Handsome, you might have your clone built. All right, cool. Obed has his clone built. Perfect. So did everybody test their clone as well? Whenever you test your clone, it's going to know who you are, how you communicate. That is the start of something great. Now you finally have the first step of building out your marketing system without having overwhelm. It wouldn't take my audio story, but I sent the summary. Perfect. There you go. You got it done. Done is better than perfect. Now, this is going to be the start of having a marketing system. And we're going to go back to this image here for just a moment because I really want you to understand how this is going to plug and play everything together. With this image, now you have your clone that is going to fuel everything that we do. Your clone is going to write your content for you. Your clone is going to write your lead magnet for you. Yes, it's going to actually build your lead magnet for you. It's going to write your newsletters for you. It's going to write every single email that goes out. Everything that you've gotten or received from me was funneled through my AI clone. I reviewed it, it's good, done. I set the system up 3 months ago. We are good to go. Never have to look at it again, maybe to change some dates, and that's it. This webinar you're looking at, it's all written with AI. Isn't that crazy? Right? My AI clone built this entire thing. I've uploaded every single material, YouTube video I have, and my clone knows me probably better than I know me. And it's definitely smarter than me as well. So, to recap, it's writing my content. My AI clone is writing my lead magnets that you're getting. My AI clone is even helping me build other AI clones. You might have gotten my offer bot. You might have gotten my story bot. You might have even gotten my content bot in my 7 for 7. It's building out every single resource in my business for me at this point because of how I built it. Building out my webinars, everything that it's done has been built and funneled through my AI clone. Do you see the power of what this can do for your marketing now? Do you see what it can do for you? You don't have to be stuck with trying to find or build the perfect lead magnet anymore to figure out, oh, how do I send out a newsletter? What is the structure for that? You don't have to figure that out anymore. This is going to be completely done for your AI clone. Now, whenever we think about starting this, if you're just getting started, I don't want you to feel overwhelmed with feeling like you have to post on all of these different platforms. You start with one. You start with one platform. You start with one lead magnet, you start with one email, and you start with one lane. Getting somebody to book a call with you, getting somebody to purchase a product with you. It all starts with one. That's how you start moving as quickly as possible without getting overwhelmed. And my challenge for you today is to take the 1 to 4 content multiplier that we built out, this one here, for example, and you take this and you stop overthinking, you stop trying to create the perfect post. You use these proven hooks that have gone viral for multiple other creators, and you just post it. And if you're feeling bold right now, go ahead and post it on your one platform. Post it on LinkedIn right now. Post it on Facebook right now. And that's whenever you start seeing results, whenever you just start taking action as quickly as possible. What do I feed into my GPT? Well, what we built today is we started out by feeding it the basic knowledge that it needs to have on who we are, our offer, who we are, what we do, and our audience. That is the very basis of what we start off with. What do I feed into my GPT, into my client's GPT? I might have mentioned this before, but in the research phase, we've done a lot of research on different content formats for Instagram, Facebook, even Threads/Twitter, like the tweet style post. And so we feed all of our clients bots that we build out for them all this data, all the data on the best performing content formats, all the data on how to write emails that actually convert, all the data on how to build email sequences. We built out basically a marketing machine within your AI assistant so it can do all of these things for you. Your AI assistant, when I say it's going to run your entire marketing machine, I mean it. That is what we do behind the scenes. What could you get started with today? You could start with building out your AI clone with the offer, the story, and the voice document. If you have any lead magnets, YouTube videos, interviews, you could also upload those into your bot as well. The most important thing about this new world that we're getting into, this AI revolution, this AI gold rush, is the most important thing is going to be data. We talked about this a little bit yesterday. So let's look at this brain image again. Whenever we're looking or thinking about this new AI revolution, it's all about data. How much information can we get and can we put into our brain? The more information it has on you and what your goal is, the better it's going to perform. Point blank, period. Right? So upload as much of it as possible, and your brain is always evolving. You're going to have new ideas. Ed is on the call. He's shifted the way that he's communicated his offer. He's shifted the way that he's addressing his audience. Your brain evolves. We need to evolve and update our clone as well accordingly. Give it that new information and remove that old information. So whenever you use this leads and revenue model, the goal is to have your AI clone fueling everything for you. Yeah, Ed went from targeting 50-year-olds who had a kid at 50 years old to now targeting younger people who are thinking about waiting on having kids. So that's a really good example. We updated his clone so that way it has that context. It knows how to talk to these 20-year-olds because you're going to resonate differently with the 20-year-olds versus the 50-year-olds. So whenever you're using the AI